ToonGrin.
Before the hammer came the sword.
Yeah, and before a bowel movement comes intestinal distress. Where do I begin with this piece of shit?
Why do you suck? Why do you suck? Why do you suck so much? Why do you suck? Why do you suck? Why do you suck so much?
Well, let's start with Marvel Animation, a branch of Marvel Comics that has never been about quality. I mean, I look back and they produced nothing but grade A level quality of shit. The 90s X-Men? Shit, I mean, this animation is beyond crap, and is choppy as all hell. And the voice acting? Is this what people think of when they think of Wolverine?
What are you talking about? We're mutants. God gave up on us a long time ago. Thanks to you, O Lord. For though you were angry with me, your anger turned away and you comforted me. I will trust and will not be afraid.
And 90s Spider-Man was dull as all hell. And why the fuck did Peter Parker have a bodybuilder-like body? What, does radioactive Spider-Man work like steroids?
Excelsior!
Honestly, I can only think of two Marvel cartoons even worth defending. The first being X-Men Evolution, arguably the best iteration of the team ever put to animation. Each character was memorable, there were great nods to the comics, and the voice acting was fantastic. Hell, where this show fucking fails is Marvel's lack of a proper DVD release. Just make a fucking box set of the entire series already. The other one worth defending is Spectacular Spider-Man, which is to me the definitive series for the character. This show was to me what Batman the Animated Series was for Batman. The voice acting was an all-star cast, the animation fantastic, and the art of Sean Cheeks Galloway is freaking amazing. I didn't hate a single character design, and I loved every character the way they were written and portrayed by the actors. Of course this went on to be fucking cancelled due to the merger between Marvel and Disney. Then we come to the end of where this beauty came to be. See, Marvel has an animation studio that battles DC Animation for home DVD supremacy. Oh, I got news for you, Marvel. You fucking suck. You've released so many fucking movies, and so many of them were shit. The closest thing you have to a good one was Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, which I honestly think I only like it because I don't know jack shit about the character, other than he is also a villain like every other fucking hero in the Marvel Universe. Seriously, if you don't know what I'm talking about, wiki the Illuminati. It's a team of pure, unadulterated dicketry. So let's sit through Thor, Tales of Asgard, and see why this is a piece of shit like so many before it. The story, if you can call it that, begins with the public castration of Thor. I'm serious, he actually regularly goes out in the arenas and fights highly skilled warriors who throw the fights to make him look good. And we meet potentially the best character in the movie, Sif. And that is only because she actually calls Thor out on his bullshit, unlike Odin, who coddles him, and Loki, who, like nearly every character in this movie, is fucking dull.
I'll tell you what needs explaining, Thor. Why you have never once ceded victory to the Ainajar, the most celebrated warriors in Asgard.
I am simply more skilled than they.
How can that be? They have battled the fiercest creatures in all the 9 realms, and you have never even left the royal grounds.
After this argument with Sif, she goes off to train with the Valkyries while Thor confronts his father. And even Odin knows that his son's a joke.
Some say the Ainajar let me win, Father. Is that true?
Yes.
Why?
You chose to turn your training into public entertainment, but this kingdom cannot afford to see its prince defeated week after week.
Oh, but it's okay to have your most celebrated warriors in all of Asgard defeated week after week.
Why you have never once ceded victory to the Ainajar, the most celebrated warriors in Asgard.
This might just be me, but if he's an incapable fighter and a public joke, wouldn't it be more beneficial to train Thor to perhaps be a better warrior? To send him out on, like, camping trips with the warriors to get field experience? How is keeping him sheltered on the grounds going to make him a better warrior exactly?
As for you, there will be no leaving Asgard. I am your king and your father, and you will obey me.
Oh, so Odin's taking the King Triton approach, forbidding his son Thor from leaving Asgard. Yeah, I mean, that won't bite you in the ass in the least. Oh, would you look at that? They snuck aboard his ship and left with the Warriors 3. Well, at least he's with the Warriors 3, right? These are the greatest warriors in Asgard. I mean, they'll travel the cosmos. They'll face unsurmountable odds. They will fight all manners of beasts. And this will be unto an epic quest unlike any other, or they'll just go to a pub and get shit-faced. So what's Odin doing?
You would think that someone known as the All-Father should possess the wisdom to raise 2 boys.
They are not your average boys, sire.
Ogrim, am I a good father? Do I shield them from too much?
Though my children never had the chance to come of age, I do believe that keeping sons too close could very well be what drives them away. Some lessons, my lord, can only be learned with real consequences. So, perhaps that is what you can teach them now.
He turns into a bad guy. Yeah, you can just sense the aroma of shitty writing in the air. No, I wonder what Thor and the boys are doing.
Excuse me? You started it.
Does it ever matter?
Huh. So after attempting to burn alive an entire bar of patrons, our heroes, and I use the loosest form of the word, make it to Jotunheim, where their boat is destroyed by crashing it, so they are stranded in the frozen wastes. But coming to Jotunheim was all part of Thor's plan. He figures if he could find Surtur's sword, a fabled weapon of great destruction no doubt, that it'll prove to his father that he's not a joke. One would argue Thor merely could start taking his responsibility more seriously, but fuck it! Let's go on the deadly trek instead. We even get a wandering montage to find the sword. That montage sucked. So after a montage that lasted maybe a minute 30 seconds, Thor gives up, but Loki tells them to remember the stories their father forced them to commit to memory. The story they remember was the story of how Odin defeated Surtur.
Yes. Yes, I see it. It began there. Father held the only weapon that could rival Surtur's sword, his spear Gungnir.
Bided his time. A wise warrior father knew his only hope was to tire the fire giant first.
So exhausted was Surtur that to lift his sword, he needed both hands,
thus exposing his chest.
It must be there, at the foot of that mountain.
So the band of idiots head for the mountains to find the sword. You know, we haven't checked in on Odin for a while. How's he holding up?
What news do you bring?
News? Huh. I've come for compensation. My dwelling was destroyed.
And for what reason do you seek payment here?
Because the sons of Odin were responsible. One of them left this!
Oh, it's good to know no one died in the burning of that tavern. Fucking dicks. Back with the dumbass brigade, they managed to locate the sword. And this is actually a pretty damn cool scene.
Meh.
So now they just head home to Odin, right? I mean, that was the whole point, to get the sword. They got the sword, now they have to get it to Odin so Thor can prove himself. I mean, Thor's not so stupid to stay in Jotunheim. I mean, even Loki, who's a cowardly sissy Mary, makes a valid argument right here.
This has moved beyond a harmless quest. We must not be found in Jotunheim with such a weapon.
Why be concerned, Loki? I defy anyone to confront us, especially now that we are armed with this.
Then we turn to...
I said stay back!
Now the real bullshit comes here as Thor feels remorse for what he's done.
It was not your fault. Those beasts attacked us.
We were the trespassers, Loki. They were in the right, and now 2 frost giants have died by my hand.
Now some of you might be thinking, Nero, I don't understand. You complain about all sorts of shit. Isn't this a good thing to have, that the hero's remorseful for his actions? Look, yes, it is a good thing that the heroes can feel remorse if they did something bad. However, in this case, it doesn't fucking count, because Thor at the beginning of this film has proven that he's a fucking racist!
You think too highly of those lumbering... Forgive me, Helgrim.
Now, what I take from this line, and yeah, I might be overthinking it, but by calling them lumbering, Thor thinks very little of the frost giants, and it's clear that he means that as a race. This is clearly a racist remark, and would have continued onward into a further racist remark if he hadn't remembered that the frost giants were the ones who wiped out Algrim's people. Point is, Thor started off as a racist, and really throughout the whole course of the movie, he never indicated any form of development, no form of respect towards the frost giants. All of a sudden, we just get a scene that he murders 2 in cold blood, and all of a sudden, he feels bad, because it's like the writers just remembered, oh shit, he's the fucking protagonist. We have to give him good qualities too. So since our heroes are so stupid that they managed to crash their flying ship into an ice barge, don't really know how that happened, but they fucking managed to do it, they decide that the best course of action would be to steal some Pegasi from the Valkyries. That seems unwise given how hardcore the Pegasi are. Yeah! So Thor and the Merry Morns are captured. What a shock! They are taken to the leader of the Valkyries, and can you just take a guess what her personality is?
Hildy, my love, why don't we end this silliness?
Silence, male!
Writers, I gotta tell you this. Stop writing the strong female characters as a bitch! Being a sexist man-hater does not equal being strong! So the Frost Giants track down our heroes and begin attacking. Huh. I wonder how Odin's actually doing.
Was our truce so tenuous that it could be broken by a youth's careless trespass?
Careless trespass. He took up Elder Stal and slew 2 northern sentries!
He what?
Odin, you knew not of this.
No.
I'm afraid it changes nothing. By his actions, Thor has declared war on Jotunheim.
Your Eminence, what do you seek in return for averting this war?
This Thor causes more problems than resolves any. So now to avert the war that Thor fucking started, Odin will need to turn Surtur's sword over to the Frost Giants. So he sends his men to go and find Thor, who is no doubt in trouble.
Slay them all and recover the sword!
Of course.
So Thor and the fucking idiots of Asgard manage to escape, with Sif no less, and meet up with his father's men. And lo and behold, like clockwork, our Night Elf Elgrim turns evil because the film needs an antagonist. I mean, besides Thor, who clearly instigated a fucking war.
No, it is the Frost Giants who are evil. The pain, the persecution, the enslavement, the eternal suffering they cause my people. There was no end to their cruelty. Algrim? And though this weapon has caused you much grief, there was a time when it offered great hope. A promise of freedom.
Okay, well, Algrim's lost, and Thor, you need to get your ass and shit together before things go straight to hell. So let's cut through the crap. Algrim is defeated, the Frost Giants get their sword and return home, and Odin is proud that Thor started a mass war that no doubt killed millions. Wait, what?
And I should have listened to you.
Why?
You came to me as a man, seeking to test your mettle. I saw only a boy.
Because I was. Father, due to my heedless actions, I ignited a war.
Yes, you did. And you saw what little it takes. But then you also saw the value of peace, even when its cost can be so very great. Such wisdom took me ages to learn. Son, never has the House of Odin stood on firmer ground or been more revered. You have done this kingdom proud.
And that was Dumars, the Legend of the Magic Viking, brought to you by Marvel. This movie is fucking god-awful. One of the worst Marvel has put out. And that's saying something considering the shit they sling. The characters are terrible. The story is boring to flat-out shit. And the animation is a bit meh. It really isn't that good. It feels a bit choppy at times, and really, you can find better animation in other shows. Hell, their current show, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, has much better animation, and characters, and story. It's clear that Marvel favors their live-action movies than they do their animated ones. Hopefully, they'll eventually take their collective butts out of their ears and actually realize you can be great in both mediums, not just one. Skip this shit. Don't give Marvel the satisfaction of getting your money. I bought it, sure, but you have to take into consideration a few things, people. 1, I'm a dumbass. And 2, I'm a reviewer. I gotta spend the money and take the bullet so you guys don't have to. This film is a piece of shit and was made for one purpose, and that's to tie in for when the Thor movie was being released. Marvel figured that they could just ride the coattails of a good film and swindle a couple of bucks out of you with this piece of shit. Fuck this animated abortion, and if you see a friend who has this movie, and they look you in the eyes and tell you it's good, they are fucking lying to you. So whip out your hammer of justice and give them a good thorough whack across the fucking skull, and tell them Nero sent ya. I'm Nero Angelus, and what the fuck is wrong with Marvel?
Excelsior!